Hello and welcome to the Talk Football Podcast. I'm your host, Adam. This is Season 5, Episode 9. And today we're doing a catch-up with Derby County with the new manager takeover. So let's see how we get on with this. Which, at the moment, it's not looking great for Derby County at the minute. Rock
No.
bottom after yesterday. Where do I start with this?
You are bottom of the rock.
We are bottom of the rock with 29 points, which I'm not holding my hopes up. I think relegation is on the cards unless we can get some wins on the cards, which since Eustace has been in charge, we have played better football. But we just cannot get wins. We cannot score.
Yeah.
It's got no cutting edge up front.
It's 10 defeats in 12 games, and that's across all competitions. And obviously, he's only been in charge of 2 games.
Yeah, 2 weeks been in charge, and I still blame Warren. It's his fault. Clown.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's a combination of Warren. I wouldn't necessarily lay the blame at the board because they're not the richest owners in the world, and you have obviously you're back in this division off the back of a really tumultuous time with the club being in administration and all that. So I know relegation obviously would disappoint the fans, but it
might not be a bad thing, if anything, to be fair. Rebuild the squad again, get back up again.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the promotion came a little bit too soon.
Yeah, I said that. I said that when we finished runner up, and we got promoted that day. I said this is probably not a good thing to do because we are a League One side.
I maintain the fact that I believe the Championship is probably one of the hardest divisions in Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
You've only got to look at the calibre and the club and the ex-Premier League clubs that are scattered throughout the division. It's crazy. It's a crazy league, and it's one of them mad ones that even now, I mean, even being bottom, you're not really, you're not cut adrift.
There's only 4 points in it. We're 2 wins and 2 or 3 wins now on the bounce.
You can get a couple of games.
We can soon get out of it. Yeah, and hoping the other results go our way, which is not looking great. We've got Stoke at the end of the season, which I've just booked that. That's all booked now. For go and watch us get relegated.
Yeah,
it may even come down to we need that win against Stoke for survival.
I mean, obviously Cardiff have got a game in hand, so they could pull themselves a little bit further away from it. So realistically, for the 3 teams
Hull and Plymouth.
Yeah, you're all really kind of chasing Hull at the moment. They're obviously the most achievable target to get out of that, but I mean, Plymouth have picked up a little bit since with their new manager recently. They've picked up a bit, remarkably. Coventry have pulled well away with it now, and they're, I think
that's
Frank's
ridiculous.
It's like, I don't know, it's like 8 games in a row or whatever they've won, or I think it's like 7 wins and a draw so they were hovering down just above the relegation, the same as you were. So it does show you in this division that if you can put a few games together, and we are talking about there's 11 games left. So,
prime example, look at Portsmouth. Look where they were at the beginning of the season.
So
they were rock bottom.
A possibility in this crazy division that even though it looks and feels really bad, you just need one bit of luck where a result goes your way. Even if you don't play well, you just get a result from somewhere, and it could just kickstart a bit of confidence, and the players will start then believing.
It's like yesterday, I didn't really watch it because I was at Mickleover yesterday watching them, and what I heard, my dad called me at half time and said Derby did actually play very well. They were playing some really good football, just can't score. And this is the problem. We've got Yates. Don't get me wrong, Yates is an amazing striker, fantastic. Just his overall end product is not there at the minute. Yeah, I think it's confidence more than anything. The players' confidence have dropped because of where they are. Players' morale has dropped, and obviously losing the manager. But which I still think that was stupid. Why did they not sack him before the window ended?
I get this frustration.
It still baffles me. It still baffles me because if we had a couple of weeks in the window, to get more players in, maybe
Yeah.
Eustace was taken over then we may have had a little bit of leeway, may have got some players in that have decency. Because at the minute, we are
Yeah.
League One players. League One players. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys, if you are listening to this, but you are League One players. You just haven't cut it this season. I'm sorry. I know everyone said it. I've seen it. They're saying, "Oh, get investors in, get investors in." You can't. How can you invest in a team that's League One?
It's difficult,
You can't.
and obviously, but yet again, it all does all go back to um, remembering where the club were 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. But
So I
like
think that
they're all
the
slating
fans should
Klaus
have a bit of
saying,
patience.
"Yeah, yeah, slating Klaus, so get invested, or get him out." I'm
Yeah.
sorry. He
We
saved the club.
wouldn't
He
have a
put
club.
yeah, wouldn't have been, would have been in nowhere.
I mean, you were days, literally
Yeah,
days
yeah,
from
from going
a winding up
liquidation.
order.
Yeah,
Yeah. So a bit
and
of
that
patience. Yet again, I've seen teams when they have go to league. You look at Leeds, Southampton, Ipswich even. Look at what Ipswich now. I know they're probably going to get relegated out of the Premier League, but it wasn't that long ago
yeah,
when McKenna came in that the club had dropped out of the Championship, and then they went on a run where they get some good young players in. They got some well crafted loans come into the club, and the club bounced back through two divisions and ended up in the Premier League. So
yeah.
going
Well, the
to
thing,
League One, and I don't think financially there's actually a massive amount in it between League One and the Championship anyway. So I don't necessarily think that financially it hurts the club as much as it does necessarily dropping from Prem money
it
to.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt them. I think it's wage caps. They have wage caps. I think
Yeah,
not in
it's
Championship.
slightly
Doesn't.
it's slightly lower, but then
Yeah,
the wage. I don't think you're anywhere near because obviously of what's happened in the last couple of years with the club. I don't think you're anywhere near that wage cap anyway because you're not
and
paying
another
big money
and
anyway.
another things. If any fans are listening to this, at Derby fans, you've got to bear in mind the last 2 years we've had to go on financial because we've had to put a plan together for 2 seasons.
Yeah,
People don't realise that. Them 2 seasons, we've had to be very, very strict on everything.
this is it. So I'll say. I mean, and the thing is because of the fact that you do get every home game pretty much a sellout. There is money coming in, so there is even in League One, you're going to have far bigger. If it was League One, you'd have far
Yeah.
bigger crowds than most of the clubs are pulling. So you would have
We
a
we
little
did
bit of
last season.
financial clout. Yeah, it would have a little bit of financial clout to maybe bring a few players in. And if it was some youngsters in on loans from Premier League clubs, it's definitely. I mean, Ipswich did it with lots of Amari Hutchinson and that loaning him in from Chelsea. I know they had to fork out 20 odd million quid in the end to sign him on
Yeah.
permanent, but that's because he'd done so well and helped him get promoted. So, but yeah, I think a bit of patience from the fans. Um, give Eustace the time to get the squad playing and giving performances
Yeah.
in the way that he wants them. And you've seen what he did with Blackburn, that he does play a nice possession-based, progressive attacking football. And once he gets that across to the players, and
Yeah.
the players are fully understanding that, because but this is the other thing to consider. Generally, you're not getting battered. I mean, yesterday again, it's a 1-0 defeat, and so if you were shipping a lot of goals every game, I know sometimes you'll get matches where you might take a little bit of a tanking, but generally, I mean, obviously, I'm talking about like the QPR game, but that's QPR at home at
Yeah.
Loftus Road. They're not a bad side at Loftus Road, but yet again, you go back through February's fixtures, narrow 1-0 defeat to
Yeah. This
Millwall.
is the problem. This is the problem.
This is it.
We
So
we can't get shots away. Like yesterday was 5.
yeah,
We had 5 goal attempts, only
you
1
know,
shot on target
with yesterday's
or
game,
off.
um, that's what 1, 2, 6.
Which I'd take that against Middlesbrough, who are 8th in the league. I would have
I mean,
took that.
you know,
I thought we were gonna get drumming
you've
yesterday.
only conceded 8 goals in all those games, and one of them was 4 in one.
Yeah.
So if there's where my hope for the club lies. That's where I think that um, this isn't done. This isn't a definite because you just got to find a way And whether that's bringing, slightly maybe pushing the wide players up a little bit more, to support the strikers, getting more runners from midfield. But the fact that you're not getting battered, you're not conceding a massive amount of goals, that also gives you a bit of an edge when it comes to the teams around you. Because albeit Plymouth have picked up a few points, Luton, I don't know what's happened to them. I mean, that's mad.
ridiculous. Premier League to Championship to nearly
and
relegation.
then
It's
that,
crazy.
and obviously, and letting Rob Edwards go as well.
Yeah.
But both of those teams, and Hull included, concede goals. But
Thing
they
is,
can
though,
score goals.
we
but they
do have
concede.
fixtures. Yeah, and we do have fixtures against some of them in the bottom. So we've got on the 15th of March, we've got Plymouth, massive game.
Yeah, I mean, 8th of March home.
That is a must win.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be a spicy one anyway, because obviously John Eustace is going to be up against.
It's at home though. It's at home though as well. So that's a home game. For us.
Coventry is going to be a tough one because obviously Frank's got them playing very well. So that's going to be a tough one.
I'd like to see Coventry go up. To be fair, I'd like to see Coventry go up.
I think that'd be
just because I love Frank. Just because I love Frank.
I mean, I love Frank. I don't want him promoted though. I'll tell you why.
And you being a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, I don't want him promoted.
I loved him at Derby.
Because
I loved Frank at Derby.
I think he did a very underrated job. People say, "Oh, he got Derby on a very limited
the playoff final."
To a playoff final, literally within
against Villa,
a kick of a football away from being in the Premier League.
And no one realised it was against Aston Villa
when the club were already in financial dire straits.
Yeah,
under the previous ownership. So, I don't want Frank to get promoted. Sorry, Frank. I apologise, but I really don't want you to get. And the only reason why I say I don't want you to get promoted to the Premier League now is because you know what happens. You get promoted to the Premier League. They spend a little bit of money on players. The results ain't going to go well. You end up getting sacked. So, and everyone says that he's a bad manager again, and I don't think he is. And so I don't want it. With all the greatest respects, I'd be quite happy for them to go into the playoffs and maybe bow out at the semi-final stage, and everyone turn around and say, "Oh, he's done a really good job getting them into the playoffs anyway." So, because look where you were when they took over.
They took over. They were near.
Yeah. Sorry, Frank.
Fair enough, isn't it? I agree. I agree with what you just said.
Realistically, if I'm looking at that, and I'm targeting where Derby are going to look at getting points, then I'm thinking if you can get a point at home to Blackburn, I think that's a great start.
Yeah. That'll build the confidence up of the players as well.
Same again. I mean, if you can perhaps try and get a point, again at home against Coventry, part the bus, do whatever you got to do.
That is on telly as well.
Try and get something out of that. Yeah,
midweek I think as well. That
it is. Yeah, it's on the Tuesday.
Tuesday 11th, I think.
Yeah. So, and then it's the big one for me. This is the real 6-pointer, which is away at Plymouth.
Yeah.
And if you can get a win there, and you can get something against Preston, and if I'm looking at that and going, okay.
The only problem with me with that Plymouth one is Plymouth fans are massively behind their players at the moment.
They are
because the new manager, etc.
The manager, etc. But they are vulnerable at the back. They do ship goals. And
they played all right against City yesterday.
Yeah, if I'm looking at that, and out of those fixtures, out of those 4 fixtures, if somehow you can pull 6 points, then if you can get a win and some draws out of that, or even 4 points, 4 points would be out of those fixtures. I know that don't sound a lot out of 4 games.
I agree. The next 2 games, points. Plymouth must win. Preston maybe could cap them a bit. I don't know. We'll see. Swansea, I don't know about that one. Burnley, we've got no chance. Portsmouth, maybe we have a chance against them, but they're on fire. They have been playing very well. Luton's a must win. Luton is a must win.
I mean, this is an interesting one. So on this coming Tuesday, Hull were playing Plymouth.
Yeah.
So for Derby, you need that to be a draw. That needs to be. You don't need either one of those teams winning. No. That needs to be a draw, because then neither one of them teams end up getting away from you. And then they've got then Hull are away to Bristol City after that, and then they're at home to Oxford. So yet again, Oxford ain't again. Miles
they're not doing great either.
So, and then they got West Brom, and then they play Luton. So it could work out that other fixtures in and around you can help you out of a situation if you can pull a couple of wins out of them
Yeah.
six. And all of a sudden, you know, those teams are hurting each other and not getting anywhere. And the club, like I say, the championship's just insane. And even
what's frightening is there's only 12 games left of the season.
well, 11 for you.
Well, 11, yeah.
Yeah. 11 for you. Plymouth obviously have got the game in hand. So Plymouth with the game in hand, which will be the game against Hull. So yeah, them two could really hurt.
I don't know.
They're at home to Sheffield Wednesday, and then they play Portsmouth. So you know, and then after your game with them, they play Watford. So they've not got easy games. They've got tough games coming up. So yeah, again, they could end up back at the bottom of the table anyway. So
I think if we can get some wins on the bounce, I think I'll take fourth from bottom. I'll take just out the relegation.
And the other thing to consider as well is that, like I say, because you don't concede goals, your goal difference is so far superior
to the other teams. Yeah,
the other teams down there. Yeah, I mean, it's only really. I mean, Hull don't concede a massive amount of goals either. They're on -11 on their goal difference, and you're on -15. So you know,
the other two are in the 30s and 20s, aren't they?
You're 16 better off than Plymouth, 8 better off than Luton. So effectively, that's almost like having another point.
Yeah,
because, you know,
we just can't score. That's the problem. We cannot score.
Yeah. So if you can right those wrongs, then I think there's a chance. I wouldn't write the club off. I know it's been frustrating for this season because, you know, you come up on that wave of euphoria of being promoted, and your expectations are always that you want to carry on in that direction because you know this is the thing. It's the same with clubs that get promoted to the Premier League. You have a whole season where you're winning and everything's great. You know, the buzz around the stadium's fantastic, and then reality sets in.
It's true though. We started off all right. We started off fine. We were like 11.
Oh, you hovering outside the playoffs.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, just boom. Everything dropped. Form dropped. Everything
drops. You know that's the championship, and there's no saying you can't.
And then fans can't get behind the team for some reason because they're lunatics, and players know that. Players know that the fans are not behind them, especially when the crowd's going ooh every time they misplace pass the ball, and I'm like,
that's natural.
Come on,
I mean, look at my club. We're sitting fourth in the league, and we're protesting outside the fucking ground.
Well, there is that.
You know, fans are fans. Fans are going to find something. You could go on a run of like 5-6 wins, and then people will complain, oh, but the football's crap and it's boring. Ooh.
Thing is, I wasn't expecting promotion. No chance. Not when we've just come on. How people can say that we'll get promoted? No chance.
Yeah,
I'd have been quite happy with a mid-table, or at the minute, I'd take fourth from bottom, staying up. Even if it's by a point, I'll take it.
I mean, if you can stay up, that's a real building block, and obviously that does bring a little bit extra money in.
Yeah, but I did go and watch them last season in League One, so it's not a massive thing. If we go down, I'll still go and watch them. End of story. I'll still
sold. You sold what's his name there? The lad. You sold cash in. So that brought in a bit of funds, and you didn't
about 10 mil. That was, I think.
Yeah, you didn't bring in a significant amount,
and he's not even been on the pitch yet for Brighton. He didn't even make the bench last game.
I think he was. That was always more of a squad signing, if you know what I mean, for them.
Well, I think at the minute, I think it's going to be they've signed him and they'll loan him out, and then develop. He's only like 23, 24. I think he's not very old.
I don't think they'll loan him out. I think he was just bought in because he's a really good option and it brings squad depth. So if they do have any injuries, etc., they've got that cover there.
It's madness, though.
And with the option that he can potentially, obviously, have that quality to break into the first team. So yeah.
Well, he made the bench first couple of games. Sorry, didn't sleep very well last night. So he's made the bench, but he's not actually kicked the ball yet on the pitch.
Yeah.
So
there we are. I mean, there's not really too much more to say. It really is down to the club now, isn't it? Really, to
and just pray.
We just have to sit there and hope that you can get a win out of somewhere. So
Yeah,
before
and
we
we'll
anyway, I think we should plug our other little project that we have on the pod.
yes,
So for
yes.
anyone that does watch this back and wondering what else we do match day vlogs. So Adam was at effectively Derby's second team in the city. So he was at
Yep.
Mickleover, and hence the old poster here that I made. So he was at Don Amott Arena yesterday, giving some support to Mickleover. So, and as Mickleover and Don Amott says, if Derby are away, get up the Don Amott.
Yeah. And for anyone that does watch this and is a Mickleover fan, and you want to talk to me when I'm at the game, because some not being horrible, but most of them are old people. But any youngsters that want to come on the pod
Don't
or
write
just
off. Don't write off the
no,
old people's knowledge. You know, they're good to talk to. Look at Dave, the Westfield fan that we had on. You
yeah.
know, he was good. But yeah,
But if anyone
we
does
like
see
having
this,
Tesco.
does watch it, etc., and wants to talk to me while I'm at the game, just approach me. Just come up to me, say hello, come
Yeah,
and speak to me. I've got a mic with me, a spare one, so you can always clip that on and speak to me.
have a little chat, and don't be
Yeah,
afraid. Like, you know, you'd be surprised. I think the reaction that I've had when I've approached people with a mic, they tend to get a bit shy. They're like, oh, I don't know.
yeah.
Well, it's just two blokes talking about football. This is it.
Yeah, and
So
I may need a bit of help while I'm there because of my hands and stuff. So
no,
you may have to
even the dog
get a bit of
agrees.
help. Yeah.
Even
But
the dog
yes,
agrees.
and
But yeah,
at the
so
end of the
go check
video,
out the book.
yeah, and at the end of the video, I will put a little snippet of some of the match day vlogs, so you've got an idea of what they are.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
will put
and our playlists are all nice and neat and tidy, so it
yeah,
doesn't take you very long to go and find them. Equally, any other part of the podcast you want to interact with, the social pages, etc.
yeah,
Obviously, you can see the link at the bottom there, and there obviously will be a clickable link it's in our bio, and we can pop it in the description if need be. But yeah, so come and interact with the show. If you see any of us, me or Adam, any of the matches walking around with our little gimbals, yeah, don't be afraid to come up and inquire and ask about what we're doing and have a chat, and you know, give your thoughts on any aspect of your non-league club, even if you want to talk about, you know, if you support a club in like the Championship, Premier League, or whatever, as well as that non-league club, then you can always have a chat with us about that as well. We talk about all football aspects here.
yeah. And like I say, as I will at the end of the video, I'll put the little subscribe button. So if you are watching this and you are enjoying the content that we are doing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right at the end of the video. And there will be a little square box at the end. I will put the match day vlogs in there for you to watch, so you can go back to the others and watch them. So
And of
everything will
course,
be there
don't
for you.
forget to hit the bell, because
Yes.
Monday nights is going to be our regular. We're going to try and make that our regular content release day. So you know, we're gonna get as many pods and vlogs and that done as we can. So Mondays at 7 p.m. we're going to try and make that our regular content release day. So keep an eye on that, and also keep an eye on the shorts as well, because any little snippets and ideas and thoughts or requests that we will ask of you, the fans and new subscribers, especially the new subscribers. And thank you so much to all the new subscribers. You've pushed us over that 100 subscriber mark now, and we're well chuffed with that. I mean, we never thought that we'd get to 100, let alone that, and the support we've had, particularly from the non-league clubs as well. So, you know, the likes of Don Amott sharing Adam's recent match day vlog, sharing that on the Mickleover supporters page, to the clubs that have reached out to me personally, and I've spoke to the likes of Kingstonians, you know, the Sunday League teams, Hersham Royals, Mondial, Sutton Common Rovers, etc. The support that they've given us for a tiny little small podcast in the whole universe of football podcasts, that the fact that, you know, these clubs are giving us the time of day, we really appreciate it. Adam got to meet Curtis from Mickleover yesterday, and who had a really good chat with him. Unfortunately, he's out injured, but we wish him all the best.
And I was going to try and get an interview with him, but apologies there. I was going to try and get an interview with him yesterday, but he was with his son, and I didn't want to badger him while he's with his son. And I thought it was quite fair to do that.
But he gave us
he was on his own.
That pictures up on our social media. So yeah, and of course he's a player that's played to a very high level in league football as well. So yeah, he's got he always updates his Insta stories as well. He needs to update his posts a bit more, but his Insta stories he keeps up to date with. So he's well worth a follow as well. So and like I say, if you're into your non-league football, give Mickelover a little follow on their social medias. They're a very progressive club. The ground is absolutely stunning, and you know they've got aims of taking the club, you know, a lot further.
There you go, Curtis. There's
Curtis.
That's his
That's Curtis's
Instagram.
page.
For anyone that does want to follow him, does follow his lifestyle, etc.
Yeah,
He's very
you
fit,
probably
very
get some
fit
really
man.
good. You get some good fitness tips actually. I'm at my
Yeah.
climbing gym. I've got that ab roller thing that I want to. I'm going to give that a go. It'll probably kill me. It might try and sort out my fat belly. But
You watch them
anyway.
teeth. You watch them teeth.
I know. I still haven't got them fixed.
You know what you like with the climbing.
I'm still waiting for the dentist to fix my teeth, but never mind. Anyway, I'll let you close out, mate. There we go.
Well, yes.
End of another episode.
End of another episode. That it was episode 9 of season 5. And thank you very much all for watching. And we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, drop on them socials, all in the description and at the bottom of this video now, as you see. And if you want to get in touch, talk football, pdc@gmail.com. Yeah.
There we go. And your Monday nights at 7 p.m. So they've got the new vlog, which will be up, the new Mickelover vlog, which will be out tomorrow, 7 p.m. And yeah, and every Monday after that, we'll have some more vlogs coming your way.
Yes. Thank you very much, folks. And we'll see you soon.
And pods.
Yeah. And more pods. Yes, definitely.
And more pods.
And more
See you soon.
Pods. See you soon.